we're paying Iran $6 billion to free up our prisoners, okay? At the same time, Russia and China, as you already know, we talked about it on the show, they're doing naval exercises off the coast of Alaska. I've tried to put this in the words before, but I'm gonna explain it again. One of the wildest things I've noticed, because I love studying civilizations. I just think they're so fascinating. Their rise, their heyday, and their fall. I find the fall, maybe it's a morbid thing, I find the fall of civilizations to be so fascinating. And honestly, I read all of them with America in mind. Wow, is that similar to what we're doing? Is that nothing like what we're doing? What would that mean for us? And one thing I have noticed very consistently when it comes to the fall of civilizations is it's never one thing. Like, and anytime you read something about or from a historian or talking about history, and they act like it's one thing, just understand that's a human being who doesn't know what they're talking about. It always is. It's amazing how everything bad seems to happen at once. Some things aren't even man-controlled. I mean, I brought up this point before when I was talking about the Assyrians. I was talking about the Assyrians a bunch last week because I was geeking out on them. So get this. You want to talk about some world-class bad luck? World-class bad luck. Stay with me here. All right, so I want you to think about this. There's a circle on a piece of paper, and that's the Assyrians, right? Okay, so you got the circle? Or you can at least picture the circle. Now I want you to go up. I want you to go north. You go north of the Assyrians, there are the Elamites. Elamites, all right? Ready? Assyrians and Elamites. Okay, you ready for this? Now, they were always fighting each other. Always picking at each other, having these little border skirmishes. It was always an issue. The Elamites tried to pull some stuff on the Assyrians. I'm not going to go into the details of it. Tried to pull something dirty on the Assyrians. The Assyrians had finally had enough. So they decided they were going to take care of this problem. And they march north, and they take out these Elamites. Yeah! Woo! Problem solved. Except in the all-time bad luck scenarios, you know how you had your circle and you went north of the Elamites? Well, I want you to do another line north. Go north one more time and make another little circle. Those would be the Medes. You see, the Medes were a fearsome people. And the Elamites, who the Assyrians didn't get along with, they were the buffer zone between the Assyrians and the Medes. And the Assyrians, thinking they were doing good, marched north and wiped out the only protection they had from the Medes. So now the Medes come pouring down, these fearsome people. But wait, there's more. They know now from the, what do they call them, stalactites or what? I don't know. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It doesn't matter. I went to community college. That like this, at almost the same time, boom, out of nowhere, famine hits. There's a drought. So already you overextended yourself. You fought a war. You took out the Elamites. Now you've got this other mighty army on your shores. Wait, now there's a drought. Uh-oh, someone else just rebelled. Now that's snowballing. When you get to the end, when the Assyrians were destroyed, finally, it's a civilization. I want you to keep this in mind, how fast this can happen. And this is in ancient days when things happen slowly. They were 3 generations removed from their heyday, from their peak. Not 1,000 years removed. It was this guy's dad and then that guy's dad. That was their heyday. His grandson comes along, beep, over. Civilization gone. Like that. I think about this a lot when I look at so many different things that are attacking us at once. We have our own political people, our own people inside destroying the value of the dollar. We have a listless American society that doesn't pay enough attention to politics. They don't care anymore. Nothing matters. This kind of nihilist meaningless existence thing. So that's going on here. We have a wide open border where we're filling up our country with not only illegals, we're filling up our country with diseases, as we've talked about many times on the show, diseases we have previously eradicated. Oh, they're here. Go look at the comments from the, I think it was the New York City Health Commissioner. We brought that up a couple weeks ago on the show. The diseases that are here and something else we've talked about on the show. Let's deal with the foreign stuff when it comes to the border. We are currently in a war with Russia. And this is where I would normally, and other people would normally call it a proxy war. And I was thinking about this morning. How stupid of a term is that? A proxy war? That's supposed to be kind of a subtle thing. Like when we were giving the Afghanis a bunch of weapons when they were fighting the Soviets, we were very covert about that. So covert, we were giving it to the Pakistanis. And the Pakistanis would then sneak it across the border to give the Afghans. Why? Because we didn't want the Soviets to know. When you're fighting a proxy war, you keep it quiet. When the Soviets were doing it to us in Vietnam, they kept it real quiet. Did we pick up on enough chatter that we knew? Yeah, but they kept it real quiet. We have press conferences announcing that we're sending Abrams tanks and F-16s. It's not a proxy war. It's a war. We are fighting a war with Russia right now. The only difference is American troops aren't dying yet. Thank you, Lord. So there are 3 superpowers in the world. I was talking about Jack Pacific about this thing. He made up a good point. He said there are 3 superpowers in the world. We're already at war with one of them. A war is brewing with the other one, China and Taiwan. Now, you know who else, back to the border, you know who else has been crossing the southern border in droves? Military-aged Chinese males. How much damage do you think, even 1,000, doesn't even have to be a lot of them, 1,000 trained saboteurs could do to the interior of America if, let's say, God forbid, a war broke out with us versus the dragon bear, Russia and China? Wide open border, disease. Saboteurs are undoubtedly already within our borders. Get ready for those power outages, and who knows what else they're going to be able to do. Combine all that with rising interest rates and a dollar going down. I didn't mean to paint this really, really dark picture, but I can't get it off my mind how many different things are stacking up at once. And I look at the history of the collapse of civilizations, and I keep saying to myself, that's exactly what was happening to them. It's never one thing. It's not an opposing army, really, that finishes off great, huge civilizations. It's not this battle or this army. It's this army combined with this disease, combined with this drought, combined with this spending problem, combined with this something else. Pick your poison. There's a lot going on right now, and I mean a lot. You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.